Squire to Moon. We're going to talk about fighting the shield fighter, the sword and shield fighter, and not the style. The person who's using that sword and shield is not that style. He's not the culmination of every sword and board technique out there. He is a fighter. He is capable of thinking tactically. He is capable of reacting to any move you make. He is capable of countering everything you do. Or at least you need to think he is. Because if you come up to any sword and shield fighter on the field, they're almost all different. There are different shapes of shields. There are different types of weapons. They could be carrying a downsword behind that shield, as well as a flail, and switch between them. They might be fully armored, which doesn't make a difference against the red until you decide to throw a cast shot. This sword and shield fighter is one of the most diverse and almost individually unique fighter out there. Yeah, there's like 1,000 guys who fight with a 28-inch sword with an Omni bat. But they were probably trained by a dozen of their different styles of sword and shield. Maybe they're at like 8 gears like I am of red fighting, and they fought like 10 different styles of sword and shield. You can't expect that shield and sword guy to react the same way every other person does with a kite shield or a flat blade. They probably are familiar in using different kinds of shield. My buddy who fights sword and shield in this realm, he's been fighting sword and shield for about 5 years. This guy has 8 shields. 5 of them are different shapes. He has different lengths of swords. He has different lengths. He is like one of the most modular sword and shield fighters I've ever seen. Does that mean I can sit there and read his style? Of course it doesn't. I can't read how he is going to throw a shot. He can pick up a different lick of the sword and screw me up. Now, that's because we fought together a lot. When you go on a field at an event, you have to remember you're fighting the person, not the style. So when you're fighting this guy, you need to read him and not his style. You need to read what he's doing and not what his weapons are doing. Sounds weird, right? But you'll see this if you watch high tier fighting, like body fakes and twitches and little leans. You'll see a little game being played, a chess game where I twitch, the guy I'm fighting twitches. It's like, it looks really weird, right? But look at like the top tier of that. They're reading each other. They're not reading the style. They can see the reaction that's being made there. That's top tier stuff, right? 50% of the game, almost maybe 75% of the game doesn't fight like that. So you can set this guy up for feints and failures. The easiest one I show is when I go here, the first thing he's going to do is he's either a punch block or try to strike me or move his shield out of the way. Those are the 3 things he's probably going to do. Now, that's easy. If I know that those are probably 3 things he's going to do, cool. This is because this is what most sword and boarders tend to do in my experience. Now, do I usually die when I misjudge that calculation? Yeah. That's why I like to wear armor, because it gives me that extra hit to where if I screw up that miscalculation, I'm still able to keep going. But now, once I've done that, once I can determine that those are his opening moves, well, now you can like set him down a dialogue tree, right? Well, if he's going to throw that shot after I hit that shield, well, all right, I blocked that. Now I can attack. Well, what's he going to do to my attack? How is he going to react? Well, you got to fight a lot of sword and shield guys to find out. They're all very different. They all have different experiences. They all have different ideas of how to do things. You need to approach them carefully. Being the most aggressive red fighter out there, it sounds cool, it works, and a lot of times people will cringe and back off. There are a lot of passive shield and sword fighters out there. There used to be a whole lot less. It used to be a whole ball and wall, big motherfuckers with big shields with flails just knocking you on your ass and whipping you with that flail. Now you're on the more technical side. Reds have become lighter and more effective than they ever have been, and in more numbers than they've ever been. Having a big shield is an advantage against this. Having a smaller shield with more ability and more shot options that lets you open me up and cut me open more, that is what a sword and board guy wants. So just remember, you're not fighting the style, you're fighting the person behind it. The person can be tricked, the person can be feinted, and most of the time they're not top tier people. You don't, just because you watch these YouTube videos of these top tier sword boarders doesn't mean that's what's all out there. Most of what you're gonna be fighting is that guy who stands online and just stands there. Maybe throws a shot every once in a while, or when he sees the line break, runs in and backhacks people. That's not bad. That's doing your job on a line. But that's, as a red fighter, when you're pushing on a spot in the line with no spear, that's the guy you're gonna come across most often. That guy doesn't do much against you when you've got a 60-inch red. If he pushes on you, well, guess what? You just back up a little bit and still tear him apart. He pushes a little more, guess what? Your spear stabs him. Even in a skirmish, that guy is defending somebody else. That's his job. But one-on-one, that guy's gonna rush you, or he's gonna stand there. He's gonna stand there and snipe you, or he's gonna rush you. There aren't a whole lot of options there. That's the main mentality. So if the guy's gonna stand there, you don't really want to be pushy and aggressive because he's gonna snipe you. If he rushes you, you don't want to be passive because he's gonna knock your ass down. Being passive against a sniper means you need to be more careful. When someone's pushing you and being more aggressive as a sword and shield fighter, you need to be more aggressive. I'm going to go a little over that in another video on how to react to a rush, but I just want you guys to think about that. A sword and shield fighter is your natural enemy. It doesn't kill you the most, a spear does, but this is what defends a line against you. This is what defends, you're the anti-shield weapon here. You need to think about fighting the fighter and not the skill set, the weapon set. Thank you.